everyone, it's Silly Girl Blue back with another video. Today I want to talk about Allanah Harris and Munchausen by proxy because I don't think that the Gypsy Rose Munchausen by proxy and what's happening with Allanah Harris and how she drugged her 1-year-old daughter to exhibit signs of seizures and sickness for TikTok clout can really be compared because they're not the same, and influencers that are comparing it are obviously very uneducated in the topic. So we're going to deep dive into it. We're going to look at some real academic sources and we're going to talk about it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so right now we are going to get into what Munchausen by proxy is. Well, we're going to talk about what Allanah did. So Allanah gave her 1-year-old daughter drugs that would cause her to have seizures in order to convince doctors and everyone else on the internet that her daughter was sick. And she was doing this for TikTok clout. I'm going to put in some videos here of her talking about her daughter's sickness like it's a get ready with me, Alex Earl style.
A couple of months, our lives have changed so much. We have gone from living normal lives to now living in the hospital. Daisy is now having seizures that last anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours at a time, and she's having more than one of these a day. I kept getting notifications from my PO box to come and collect my stuff, so I thought I could do a bit of a haul in another video.
Okay, so she was literally drugging her child and like pretending her child was sick and to love on her child for TikTok, okay? I don't think we've probably ever seen a case of this involving TikTok like this because TikTok is so new. Even though people exploit their kids every single day, and even the Ruby Frankie situation, like all of this is coming to a head. If you still support family vloggers or you exploit your kid online, you are evil. Munchausen by proxy is also known as fictitious disorder imposed on another, FDIA. Formerly, it was known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, so they have a name change. They do this a lot in psychology to explain the whole disorder better than just maybe what they knew in the past. They know more now. FDIA is a mental illness in which a person acts as if an individual he or she is caring for has a physical or mental illness when the person is not really sick. Notice here it says how they act, cause symptoms, and cause sickness. Okay, so whether the false medical claims are about someone else or themselves, this condition can be dangerous. So let's talk about the ways that Munchausen by proxy can be dangerous. So it can lead to unnecessary medical tests. So your kid's going to be poked and prodded, potentially given drugs they don't need because you're pretending that they're sick. So that is abuse, 100%. The thing is, the doctors are giving them these because they think they're helping them. She was literally giving these to her child. This can even lead to surgeries while the healthcare team tries to figure out what's wrong with the patient. And this happened to Alannah's daughter. She was getting explorative brain surgeries, and her mom knew that she had nothing wrong with her. The thing is, her mom wasn't acting, just pretending. Her mom was actually drugging her. And Munchausen by proxy doesn't talk anything about that. And that's why I don't think these cases can even be misconstrued as the same thing, because again, if you look back at my recent video, and I will go into it after we discuss Allanah, but Gypsy Rose actually has a genetic disorder that required her to have all of these surgeries. So she was actually sick. Her mother never faked anything. The only thing her mother faked was the extent of it because she wanted monetary gain and like to go on trips and stuff like that. So it's still wrong in its own right. And her mom was still never diagnosed with Munchausen by proxy. I'm pretty sure she had something else where she wasn't faking it, but she was exploiting her daughter. Nonetheless, she was exploiting her kid for monetary gain. But Gypsy also knew about it, and Gypsy was older. This baby is 1 year old. Gypsy was in on everything going on after a while. People need to realize that as well, because she was not just like an innocent little girl. She knew what was going on, and she was in on it because she knew she enjoyed the luxuries as well. So when a child is involved, which would be the case with both these, FDIA is considered a form of child abuse by the American Professional Society on the Abuse of Children, which of course it is because you're giving your kid medical things they don't need because for your own gain. That's pretty selfish. So Munchausen by proxy isn't done to achieve a concrete benefit like financial gain. It is often done in order to gain the sympathy and special attention given to people who are truly ill in their families. So I don't think that Gypsy and her mother fit this because she was appreciating the financial gain. They got their house done. They went on trips. They got all of this stuff. She was liking that. That was how she was honestly keeping her life afloat. She was paying her bills through scamming. This would be closer to Munchausen by proxy, the Allanah situation, because she is using it to gain sympathy and a special attention from people. but I still do not think that she has Munchausen by proxy, because she wasn't just acting as if her child was sick, she was poisoning her child. So now we're going to talk about what disorders could lead to somebody potentially poisoning their child that isn't Munchausen by proxy, because people are very quick to just jump to the easiest explanation they find, but sometimes there are people that are struggling with multiple different things that all lead up and exhibit behaviors such as these crazy ones. Okay, so let's talk about what I think Allanah might actually be suffering from. So first is compulsive lying disorder. This is also known as pseudologia fantastica. Pathological lying, pretty much. And it is a severe form of compulsive behavior. So like OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. This is a different type of compulsive behavior that causes people to lie just for fun, to get attention, to feel important, or to manipulate others for self-gain, which all of these things she was doing. Like, what was the point of her lying? Because it was fun for her to record her videos. She was getting attention from them. They made her feel important, because apparently in these days, if you don't have followers, you're not important. And she was manipulating everybody around her, even her own husband and children, so that she could get famous for her own benefit. I also think that she might be a psychopath. Because what type of person poisons their child? So research actually suggests that male and female psychopaths are a lot alike in terms of their core personalities. Okay, so let's talk about the core personality of a psychopath. They're self-centered, deceptive, emotionally shallow, and lack empathy. Sounds a lot like somebody else we know, huh? Self-centered, of course. All of this is for her own attention. Deceptive, absolutely. She's poisoning her child. Emotionally shallow, no kidding. How can you not feel bad? Your baby is a baby. They love you the most. You're their mother. You're all they know. And the lack of empathy, yeah, absolutely. For not only her poor little baby Daisy that is getting pummeled because your mom is poisoning you, but everyone else in Daisy's life that loves her. They exploit others for self-serving reasons. This seems like the most exploitative thing I've ever seen in my entire life. All because you want to have celebrity status. Like, you're a loser. You'll never have celebrity status, okay? You're fat and you're ugly and you're gross, okay? So they lack remorse for their actions. That sounds about right. She already went on the news. Of course, she got a call from the news and she's like, oh my God, I'm going to be on the news. Better call in right away. And she's like, oh, I can't talk about it. You think they're calling you to talk about like what you did last night, what you cooked for dinner? Obviously, they're calling you because they heard that you are poisoning your child. So to be like, I can't talk about that. Then why did you come on here? You freak. So that seems like lacking remorse for her actions. They blame others for their consequences of their actions. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. She's going to come on, she's going to fight, and she's going to say she never did this. And I think it's going to come out that she obviously did, because she did. But if there is a case that happens, we will follow it together. All of us, okay? So they use their charm and physical appearance to manipulate others. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of her from before. I'll put them in. But she used to have like kind of nice breasts, be skinny. And I'm sure that like her poisoning her daughter is probably what caused her to gain weight, because you're just focused on poisoning your child. Like, not working out like you should be. Like, what the hell? So although women may use sex more often and outright violence less often than men do. So her boobs and her cleavage in those photos of her, like, obviously she's trying to use sex to manipulate, to get followers, right? That was the first ploy. And when that didn't work, she gained a little bit of weight. She had kids. She's like, shoot, what can I do now? Oh, let me poison my kid, because people love a good sick kid online. Like, that's so messed up. But female psychopaths are also way more willing to resort to brutal violence to attain their needs when deceit, manipulation, and charm fail or aren't available. Doesn't that seem right? It looks like she tried to do all those things to try to get her fame. When it didn't work, she resorted to complete brutal violence by poisoning her child. Her child was having seizures that were lasting an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. Do you understand that? At 1 year old, this baby is just trying to be a baby. That is literally, it's sickening. It's sickening. So, no, we can't say that Dee Dee Blanchard and Allanah Allison or Allanah Harris, I don't care about her stupid name. They can't be compared. Dee Dee Blanchard really had a sick child, and her child came back and murdered her. Okay? And now her child is out on social media pretty much doing the exact same thing that Allanah Harris is doing. I see Gypsy Rose in Allanah Harris. I believe that Gypsy Rose would do some crazy ass stuff like that. Gypsy Rose should have been in a mental hospital instead of jail. because she has severe psychological disorders the same way that this woman does. And to try to throw Dee Dee Blanchard under the bus still in her death is so gross. Gypsy is so gross. She just lets the narrative run because she knows if she told the truth, where would she be? In prison. Gone. Forever. Locked away. So, no, don't compare these two. Allanah Allison deserves to rot in jail for the rest of her disgusting, ugly little life. And so does Gypsy Rose. All right. Bye, guys. It was great talking to you. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Dee Dee Blanchard and Allanah Allison are in the same category of abusers or have the same disorder? Did we really see any of this behavior from Dee Dee Blanchard? Did she ever poison her daughter? No, she never did. Her daughter actually had disorders. Dee Dee just exploited them for money and to live life on easy mode. That's pretty much exactly why she did it. Allanah did this for TikTok followers and attention. So if anybody here is actually suffering from a mental disorder, it would be Dee Dee. Allanah, unfortunately, is a person that is psychopathic, and she has a lot of problems with her. Like, there is no coming back from this. She will never get better. I'm pretty sure her brain must be fried. Send her away. Send her to prison. Never let her be around anybody ever again. It's dangerous and it's unsafe. Okay, bye.